Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam or XJaws, and welcome to my very first Modern Warfare 3 gameplay commentary. Today, I've got a gameplay of Kill Confirmed on Lockdown. I really like Kill Confirmed. It's a new game mode that was added by Infinity Ward to the series. I think that it's a really unique style of play when you're playing Kill Confirmed. I think that it definitely changes a lot about the way players behave in a match, and I think it's definitely really unique. I applaud Infinity Ward for adding it into the game. It's got a couple flaws. I think that it does cause a little bit of camping for a lot of players who like to kill one person and then wait for another person to run over their dog tags, or at least attempt to run over their dog tags. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, real quick, as you can see right there, I was just picking up a couple dog tags. Real quick, the Kill Confirmed game mode, the way it works, if you're not already familiar, is basically every time you kill a player, they drop dog tags that are left on the ground, and they're yellow. And you or your teammates have to pick it up, and you'll get extra points for picking them up. I think it's 50 or 100, something like that. And that's that counts as a point if one of your teammates or you run over those yellow dog tags. On the other hand, whenever you die, you drop red dog tags, or well, they're the same dog tags, but to your teammates they look red. And if you run over your own dog tags, or if you have a teammate run over your dog tags, then it is kill denied, and the dog tags will go away, and it doesn't count as a point for the enemy team. So it's not just about who can get the most kills, but it's also about which team can pick up the most dog tags. But usually it ends up being whichever team gets the most kills, because there's more opportunities to pick up dog tags, ends up winning the game. So let's talk now a little bit about some general Modern Warfare 3 stuff, and then I'll go into specifics about the gun, the kill streaks, or lack of kill streaks. Actually, I'll go into more detail about that later in a minute. So anyway, the Modern Warfare 3 game, the way it's played, is a little bit different than any other Call of Duty game. If you go into it thinking that you can do really well, using the same playstyle that you used in Black Ops and you were successful with, you won't do nearly as well as you might think. It definitely plays a lot different, and part of that's because it is a new game and people are still getting acclimated to the maps and the weapons and everything like that. But I still believe that this is going to be a more defensive game, even though the weapons are not super powerful, which often leads to very defensive gameplay. The thing about the weapons in this game is that there's no stopping power for them, so you can't increase the damage that any weapon does, but they're still pretty powerful, more powerful than they would be in, like, let's say Modern Warfare 2 without stopping power on the guns. And then Infinity Ward also added a lot of recoil to the weapons in this game, and there is a counter per se for that as well. There are weapon proficiencies, and one of them is recoil, along with is reduced recoil. Along with reduced recoil, there are weapon proficiencies like attachments, which allow you to put 2 attachments on your gun, which is what I was using in this gameplay. There are weapon proficiencies to decrease your flinch when you're getting shot at, and when you're trying to keep a steady aim on a target or on a person. There's a weapon proficiency to reduce the sway of your gun as you're holding up the iron sights on it and not shooting. So there's a couple really cool ones, a couple useful ones, and I don't find myself always using the recoil one, obviously, so oftentimes I have to overcome the fact that a lot of my guns have recoil. So it definitely makes this a more gun-oriented game, especially because the kill streaks are really hard to acquire. So now let's talk a little bit more about the kill streaks and the loadout create a class setup that I was using in this gameplay right here. So the gun that I'm using is called the Type 95, and I'm sure you guys will see a lot of gameplay footage with it this week. The Type 95 is a really, really good assault rifle. It's similar to the Modern Warfare 2 FAMAS. It's a 3-burst assault rifle that sometimes can kill in 1 burst, not very often, but still, it's really good. And then on it, I have attachments is my weapon proficiency, like I said before, and the 2 attachments that I chose to put on it for this gameplay were the silencer and rapid fire. And you might be thinking to yourself that rapid fire might not be that good of a weapon, or might not be that good of an attachment to use on a 3-burst weapon, but I assure you it works really, really, really well on the Type 95. And one of the things I absolutely love about this game is that I don't have to give up my faster aim down sight in order to get those 2 attachments like you had to do in Modern Warfare 2. So now let's talk a little bit about the perks that I was using. The first perk that I'm using is Scavenger. That's a perk you guys should all be familiar with if you've played Call of Duty before, whether it be Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops. Scavenger, just extra magazines, and that definitely came in handy because for this gameplay I was going for a MOAB. And if you don't know what a MOAB is a kill streak that ends the game. It's pretty much like the Modern Warfare 2 nuke. In order to actually get it, you can't use any kill streaks to help you out get there. So no more getting a Harrier to get you a chopper gunner to get you a nuke in order to end the game. Now you've actually got to get those 25 kills in a much more difficult way than ever before. So I really like that. So anyway, moving on, my first perk being Scavenger, my second perk being Quick Draw. So in this game, Quick Draw is actually the perk that allows you to have faster aim down sight, regular Quick Draw. And then Quick Draw Pro allows you to throw your lethal and non-lethal grenades or just tactical equipment, whatever, faster. You can deploy it quicker, and that's really useful because oftentimes you can get caught off guard, because in this game they made it slower to throw your stuns and your flashes and all that sort of stuff, so you can get caught off guard by someone rushing you, and while you're throwing that stun you're pretty much a sitting duck. You're very vulnerable, so it's definitely good to be able to get rid of those quicker and have the faster aim down sight. So Quick Draw is a really, really good second perk that I recommend you guys use. And then my third perk is I believe Steady Aim, and Steady Aim is really good because with the Type 95 it's good for long range. It's good for picking people off from a distance, but whenever someone does rush me, because this is a map right here, Lockdown, that has a lot of buildings, and I was walking in and out of buildings constantly, well, whenever I was close range in a building with someone, I would just hip fire and I'd be able to be much more accurate because of Steady Aim. Now let's quickly talk about the kill streaks. So as you can see, I just got the MOAB right there, but I didn't use any kill streaks to get me there. Instead, I was using the Specialist support package. So I'm sure you guys have heard about the Assault and support package, so I'm not going to go into detail about those, but if you haven't already heard, the Specialist support package, the third one you get to choose, doesn't actually have any kill streaks in it. Instead, what you get to do is choose 3 perks that you get. The first one that you get on a 2 kill streak, the second one you get on a 4 kill streak, and the third one you get on a 6 kill streak. And then the great thing about the support or the Specialist package is that when you get 8 kills, automatically you have every single perk in the game, which is really, really cool. And that's really helpful for getting up to a 25 kill streak like I did in this gameplay with my gun, which allowed me to get the MOAB or MOAB, whatever you want to call it again. So anyway guys, that's the end of this gameplay. Final score was 35 kills, 1 assist,